Command, this is Eagle 9. We're experiencing, I don't know what to call it, something on the wing. Multiple somethings, over.
Eagle 9, say again. Did you say enemy fire?
Negative. No, sir, they're 3 feet.
High above the clouds, where the air thins and fear takes flight, something else was watching. Something that no man could explain. Some called them legends. Pilots called them gremlins. World War II didn't just produce battles on land. It birthed a new war in the skies. But amid the roar of engines and whine of bullets, Allied pilots began reporting something else.
We've lost hydraulic pressure again. That's the 3rd time this week.
Probably gremlins. Gremlins, mischievous, unseen saboteurs. British pilots first popularized the term, but the stories go back even further. Mysterious malfunctions, tools disappearing, and sudden engine failure with no cause and always a glimpse of something small, quick, and grinning. Dozens of pilots described similar events. Creatures crawling on wings at 30,000 feet, flickering lights in the clouds, shadows that moved against the grain of logic. Most dismissed them as stress-induced hallucinations, but some weren't so sure. One Royal Air Force report detailed a mechanic finding claw marks on a stabilizer, and another described a gremlin laughing as a pilot struggled to regain control of a dive-bombing Spitfire. Some believed that gremlins were merely projections of fear. At high altitudes with oxygen low and nerves stretched thin, the human brain can prevent enemies it couldn't see. Gremlins were the mind's way of making sense of senseless danger. But even with that logical explanation, the myth spread. The U.S. Air Force began referencing gremlins in internal memos, and Walt Disney Studios even worked with the British Royal Air Force to create wartime cartoons featuring the creatures. Part cautionary tale, part morale booster. But there were still plenty that insisted the gremlins weren't a myth, and that they were something else entirely. Theories ranged from interdimensional saboteurs to experimental aircraft from the enemy, to even extraterrestrials observing human war. Were gremlins a convenient excuse, wartime propaganda, or were they the face of something deeper, something hiding in plain sight? Today, gremlins live on as slang for unexplained technical errors, but among old veterans, their name still brings a chill, not because they were real, but because so many believed that they were. After all, every legend starts with a witness.